Sham Masech the Meises, Daf Chov Vov and Beis, and Nishmas get the Basavam Chaim Mises, Dov the Gesh Chaim Belam Yitzchak, and the Bas Golda, Rivka, and the Bas Chayesta, Ayavam, and Rivka, and Frega, the Yerushalmי. Moshe says, Amar B'Yoina, Chov and Beis, Amru Elo L'Derech, Chobeinu L'Beinu, Chaveiro Eloi. When do we say that Moshe Gorgis, or better yet, in the Reisha, the Mishnah says, Moshe Ketzias B'Derech, Afilu B'Tzad Sodek, Tziyos, Teintenu Shu Noit Al Derech, is Mutoras Mishum Gezel, U'Peturis Min HaMaisos. It's Mutar Mishum Gezel, and it's Peturis Min HaMaisos. It doesn't say, the Mishnah doesn't tell me that it's Hefker, but what steht da in the Moshe Mutoras Mishum Gezel, the Shema Mi Oived Rachim Naflu. Maybe I'm sorry. Maybe it fell from the Oived Rachim. So it doesn't belong to somebody. It's from the Oived Rachim. Umisafik Peturis Min HaMaisos. So there's no. It's Demai, right? If it's a suffix, maybe it's this person, maybe it's that person. So it's Peturis Min HaMaisos. It wasn't enough to say. Peturim Min HaMaisos Kedin Hefker. What's an Hefker Min HaBoisai if it's Hefker or it's a suffix? The Mai. Noch an Hefker Min? Noch an Hefker Min? Lots of Shemayim. If you say that it's a suffix, this person, that person, you know who it is. It's lots of Shemayim. It's a Mechuyev. Huh? Tzadik B'Meshachov. 10 lies. Noch hadin. If you say it's Hefker, it's put in the Ganzen. It's a Gemara in Chulun. What?
Doesn't the Gemara say Hefker?
Here? No.
What if you change?
Okay. He says here, you have a suffix. It looks like a suffix. It's going to Hefker. It says suffix. You don't know who it is. Mutar Mishum Gezer. What happened over here? What's going in the Maisa? Maisa Gezer, Motzu Ketzias B'Derech, Afilu B'Tzad Sodeh. You find a taina or something that was cut off the tree on the road, next to a field. The field belongs to somebody. Mutoris Mishum Gezel, U'Peturis Min HaMaisos. It's Mutar Mishum Gezel, Peturis Min HaMaisos. Why is it Mutoris Mishum Gezel? What does that mean? So you can take it. That's Pasha Pshat Mutoris.
Some from the road dropped it, so it's Hefker.
No, it doesn't say that. It says Mutoris Mishum Gezel. Shema Mi Oived Derech Naflu. Maybe it fell from the Oived Derech. Umisafik. Why? Maybe it's from the Oived Derech. Maybe it's from the Tzad Sodeh. Tzad Sodeh, you know who it is. You look up the deed. Go on Google. You find out it belongs to him. It's Oived Derech. The guy's not here. You got that? What? Huh? Doch steht da in Raful, das Hefke. Sagt nicht, das Hefke. Was? Huh? Wer ist Machzir? Meish, Yish. Gemara brings us al Yish with Tamidas. Fake the Marakash and Abaye, as Yish Lemidas is like have a Hefke. Fake the Gemara. So what it says, it's not Yish Lemidas. I'm just telling you what it says over here. Ukaraim Mishnayis. Huh? That's Yish Lemidas. So the Gemara says it's not considered Yish Lemidas because he knows it's double Choshev. That's Yish Lemidas. That's the Gemara. That's the Gemara in Afka Minute. They get to Yesterday Shemayim. They get to Ptus. What steht da Mishnayis? Mishnayis steht da so.
She says enough.
Oh, Ashi.
Not the Gemara.
No, not the Gemara. The Mishnah. Motzi Ketzias B'Derech. Geen Teine. Mutoris Mishum Gezel. Yesh Gosim, sagt the Melech Shloime, Ein Behem Mishum Gezel. It's going to say Afka Minute. Mutoris Mishum Gezel means there's no lots of Shemayim. Ein Behem Mishum Gezel means no Gezel, it's stop. But lots of Shemayim, still lots of Shemayim. Because we really don't know. It doesn't belong to the Baal Sodeh. The Baal Sodeh is standing right over here. Kein Ton of Yosef, V'tama Diktiyos Agab the Cheshiva, this is the Gemara in the Afchofal from Baba Tzia, V'bal Tzadov HaChoshev, M'mashvish B'hu, V'yoda Miyad, so the Baal HaBayis knows right away that it's Tzadov HaChoshev that it's missing, so it's Yish Midas, Yish is Mitam Hefke, that's what the Gemara in Baba Basa, in Baba Tzia. V'tein Nami made the Yoda, the Natra, they fell down, and if you lost in the Mas, and Mafkelo, Mishum de lo yodem ezer ilan who doesn't know from which tree, or milan is shem tachteim, or mialma. The command of Farish given to the fellows mislacheches in the masses be einov umafkira. And the zog because it's double nimbus, the mele he's mafkir. That'll be very good if you go this over here, mutor is mishum gezel. But if you go is ein behem mishum gezel, it's like a suffix, and the lips are suffix. It's nish mutter. Mutter is this nish. I can't just name it. I didn't. But mutter is this nish. Huh? Oh, what's the main time? That's this Gemara. This Gemara says, "Mama ain't time." So the Gemara in Daf Kuf Lamed, a mazik matonas kuhuna v'shachlam potem l'shalem. Was the Mama ain't time? Potem l'shalem. Bezin came on, but he does the Shemaim is not. Mazik ben Yerim does that. No, mazik matonas he does not. Mazik he knows. Yishlem midas. The Gemara says it's not called Yishlem midas. It says Yishlem midas. So Kaponim is very vague and to learn this hefka, this is hefka. Upturis min ha-maises, like the Mishnah Shoyne, afilu b'achilas keva, there's not going to be any achilas keva over here. Why? Because it's hefka. Either arai b'lavoch imuta, actually learning malachta, you can be in pei kama. Zog the Patanura, Tus min ha-maise, kedin hefke. Push it, I didn't hefke. Oh, but look, the Taisis Yonte, Mentos, Mishum Gezel, but Davke, Shemotzim Bederach, Sheoz Yedua, Shabaylim Nisyashu, the Fi, Sherabim Mitzuim Sham, Ava Motzi Bein Lebein Chabeiroi, there's a Gebyoin, there's a Gemara, there's a Bein Lebein Chabeiroi, is that was Asur Mishum Gezel, Lo Mitzyash, Ideya, Shechavei Mitzot. Do tzedot next to me, my neighbor. There's no dinner. What? It's also mishum gezel. Other me, other you. So mele, there's no ram there. It's not miyash. And boss is by zeisim mecharuvim. Zeisim mecharuvim. Steht weiter. Zeisim mecharuvim chayovim. It's chayav b'maisa. Why zeisim mecharuvim? Because there you can tell where it comes from, which tree it came. So you know it's not me over there. If it's not over there, the fire it does chayov. Sant is what? Huh?
It's still hefker. It's still hefker.
No, there's a churub not hefker because the Mefarshim says Cherubim. You could tell this zayis came from this tree, and this churub came from that tree, and one fell under the zayis tree. And the churub fell under the carob tree, so you know it came from that tree. If it came up from that tree, so it's chayav. You know, have a simon where it goes to. So you don't say it's mutter. It's a Santa Zach. The Rambam brings this sign hilchas ma'aser and sign hilchas zera b'aveda. The halacha from their Mishnah. So the Rambam tez vov in gezel b'aveda. The Rambam usually never brings the same thing twice. This is one of the klom of the Rambam. Brings the zud, the thought. Usually that's how he goes. Look, the Rambam do asay. Amoitzi kitzitzos b'derech afilu b'tzad soda kitzitzos. Even if he finds it, the ratio of the Mishnah, he finds it on the road next to a soda, next to a field. Harei l'shaloi. It's blank saying. But in the Mishnah doesn't say harei l'shaloi. Mishnah says moitzi kitzitzos b'derech afilu b'tzad soda kitzitzos. Mutur mishum gezel, paturas min ha-maises. It's mutur mishum gezel, paturas min ha-maises. Ja, get me yotze shemaim. Nicht yotze shemaim. It's the ganze Gisse, zwei Gisses, right? But the Name look to Klor, moitzi kitzitzos b'derech, afilu b'tzad soda, kitzitzos, harei l'shaloi. It's finished. There's no yotze shemaim. Harei l'shaloi, clear. Huh? Harei l'shaloi. It's science about it. No here, no complications here, right? Look at the Rambam Hilchos Ma'aser. Pei Gimel Halacha Chaf Aleph. Hamoitzi kitzitzos b'derech afilu b'tzad soda. The same case. Kitzitzos harei ilu p'turas min ha-ma'aser. It's a potem min ha-ma'aser. Don't say Arei Shaloi. It's Potem and a Maisa. Potem and a Maisa can sign because you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know whose it is. It's Potem and a Maisa. It's not Nigma. Okay, so the Motzi let's get right into the Mishnah. That's why he's not saying the same thing. He's not dealing with the Maisa Dikadin. Das to wissen, das bleibt zu ihm. Es bleibt zu ihm, ist nicht Hefke. It's a kind of a Hefke. It was Hefke, but now it's yours. If it's not Hefke, it wouldn't be Harei Shaloi. It would be something Al Dei Shemaim. You have to give it back. There's a clause, Harei Shaloi. Geen Teine in the Sefer of our Mishnah, Shu Noitel Derech. By Teine, first we're talking about the something else, but here's by Teine, when it falls down, it gets Nimas. Shu Noitel Derech, but so Teinim Tachta, Metod Mishum Gezel. Here he says not Harei Shaloi. Those are Harei Metod Mishum Gezel. Was the nafka minute? More than nafka minute. Metod Mishum Gezel, as Gezel Nishdo. Aber Lotzi Dei Shemayim. This still is. That's why he says Mitol Mishum Gezel. Can Gezel Nishto. But Lotzi Dei Shemayim is not Habadrega. It's a different Madrega. And that you have by Tainim was an Aroga found. What do you mean why? It's a good why. By Moitik Tzid Bederech, you find it on the road, and it's Harei Shaloi. Why is it Shaloi? Because there's Oibid Rachim here. It's kind of Oibid Rachim. It's Sadach, but it's Hefke. Now later. Ma'ashen came by Taina Shu Noitel Dera. You know this Taina came from over here. What's the Shaila? The Shaila is this is Nimus. It's not 100% perfect. So we say Harei Zokman Ein B'Mishum Gezel. There's no Gezel over here. Kenzan Yen is Nimas from the Yob. It's a Sophic. It's a Mishum Gezel. It's Gezel. The Kedin. It's Takamutta. But Yotzei Shemayim. It's under the Medrega. Yotzei Boy and if he lost in the Maas. Turis Minat Mishum Maisa. It's Potu Mishum Maisa. Avazaisim v'charubim v'kuyoyisibem asurim. What says asurim? That's also Mishum Gezel. Why is it also Mishum Gezel? Because Avazaisim v'charubim, you know, the Rambam is not masbeh ganz enough. Into the Gemara, but akaponim, Avazaisim v'charubim, you could know where it came from because the color matches the colors. So and it matches where it came from. It's under the tree, the right tree. So Mela, that's why the Rambam looked anders du, wie looked the Hilchos Meiser. Hilchos Meiser looked the Rambam. No, the dinim from the Meisers. Doesn't talk about the moment of Shaboy. Amoitzik tzid b'derech afilu b'tzad sodik tzid hareilu tunim in ha'maisa. Das is important in ha'maisa. Because mafka whatever moitzik groiges im dosu roiva groiges. Oh, this is so straight weiter. This doesn't say in the Gezel b'aveda. So what should I do in the Mishnah? He says like this: moitzik groiges im dosu roiva groiges. Droises mean that it's a very nasa malachta. Most of the people pressed it out already, so it's nasa malachta. And it's nigma. So about the nigma is chayv lasa. Shechaskosan midova shenigma. Most of the people now in this area already finished pressing out all their fruits. So mel is nigma malachta. Once it's nigma malachta, we say that's chayv ma'isa. It's chayv ma'isa. It's nigma malachta. And most of the pieces of the devela which is on the ring, she do a shehem midova agoma. We know it's midova agoma. Nigma malachta is chayv lasa. The Gemara weiter, holding in the middle of the Yomid. Motzi Groigris, by the brackets. You see that by saying Motzi Groigris, he found these pressed fruits. In those who Roy B'nei Odom is Chayev. That's what Mishnah says is Chayev because after Nigma Malachtoi. After Nigma Malachtoi, so I feel Mizog as well as it's Hefke. But if the Hefke was now after the Gemara, it's Chayev. If the Hefke happened before, it's like a potter. That's why the Reish of the Mishnah said potter. It's not been gedenken. Once it's something which is nigma, and then the hefker comes, the hefker is not moitzi midei chiyuv ma'aser. Why? The peiros have a chiyuv, you have to take off trumas and ma'aser, or when you're claiming the peiros, you have to take off the trumas and ma'aser. So if b'shas ma'aser it was not hefker, once you had a chiyuv, it becomes hefker later, that doesn't mean anything, it doesn't take it away. But if it was hefker before the Gemara Malacha, the hefker comes first, the hefker, the apostle was parted from trumas and ma'aser. If there was a Drisam Roy B'nei Odom, you say it's Chayiv. Nigma Malachtoi. Feitig Kasha. Where do you make this pressing? You make this in the bias, right? So where did these payers come from? These payers came from the soda. So if it came from the soda, so why do you say it's Chayiv? It comes from a davar which is not nigma malachta, only besoda. And even though we say you made the drisa in the bias, it still should be potter. Why are you saying it's chayiv? Amar Abu Machia tifte sheroiv dosin besoda. Roiv drisa is taka besoda. Ibad roiv drisa were besoda. So it's nigma malachta besoda. Once it's nigma malachta besoda, it doesn't help me. Ya hefke, nish hefke, it bleibt the chiv. Abzira boy, ain't in the keres im drusahi. You made. Why do you say you have to go roiv b'nei adam? What do you mean? You want to know if it's nigma malachta or not? That's interesting. You have to go according to roiv people in this city. If they made the drisa, they make the drisa. Look at this particular page. Was it nidras? Was it gekvetch? Did you press it out? And if it was pressed, it's nigma malachta. If it was dafür against zichron with roiv b'nei adam, you should be telling the page, these pages itself. That's shayla sex abzira. Any keres in drusa here, any drusa. Amar Abshol pomim shu pekas tachas is interessant. And the pressing you do with a gilgul. You put a press, a kli, and that presses the pages. So sometimes pomim shu pekas tachas al gilgul. This thing rolls away. These pages they roll under the gilgul. V'hi drusa, even though it was pressed, but you can't see. It's not niked that it's pressed. It looks like it's not pressed, but it's really pressed. So monashah. If you have to press it out to make a gemar malacha, the fact that this thing slipped away from the gilgul, flipped away from the machine, and it's not pressed out, so vusa could do that it's mutter. When you came to do zugendu, what roiv, you have to go bust the roiv. What after getting busted the roiv? Because here you can't see. Maybe it doesn't look like it's pressed. But I have to say that if it is a man adrisa, the roiv ben am shem dois gewesen, then it has the din of adrisa, it has the nigma malachta. What's the pshat? All the page should be told everyone bazunda. If this was pressed, it's nigma malachta. It's not pressed, not nigma malachta. What's you do all of a sudden that it's zevensach? Even if it went under the press, it was slipped out. It wasn't pressed out. So why is it called nigma malachta? What's the pshat? Pomim sharegel doisasa. Sometimes you do it by foot. No, it wasn't so advanced yet, and they did it by feet. Or in a poor country, they do it by feet. Looks like drusa. So that's the reason why I said you go bust the rope. What's the pshat? I'm going to play Moshe. In the middle of this wide line. Where do you bring them from? The groigers? You bring them from the field, and you press it out in the house. And he found it in the soda. What do I care now that Drisa was in the house? That's by me already. What I did by me. If you want to know b'shas and ma'isa when you found it, it was besoda, and about it was besoda. It was loy nigma malachta. Loy nigma malachta. It is demos hefke, and once it's hefke and it's loy nigma malachta, it should be potter. What do I care now? What's going on by you in the house? So the Gemara tifte b'makom sheroiv dosim besoda. This is gerecht. And we're talking about the Drisa was already besoda. About the Drisa was besoda is nigma malachta besoda. Nigma malachta besoda, it doesn't help me the hefke because the hefke came after the gemar malacha. Abzira boy. Other tinina im dosu. Right, the Gemara. What have to go basaroiv? Says what's getting me basaroiv? Right, Takash of the Mishnah. V'chi ein nikoris im quad drusa he ein drusa. Let's look at the page themselves. Let's see if it's a page which was nidra. So not nidra. Let's get stum at the roiv. We keep trying to roiv. V'lom alonu leilach achar roiv. Umeshani Reb Shol lefi shepom mishupakas v'nishmatas mitakas agilgul. V'hu eagle. That's the pressing machine. V'hu drusa v'enikeres. What happened is nishmat. You can't see that it's pressed. It flipped away, and it's not niked that it's pressed. Then you go bust the roiv. Manosho. If it's gekvetched, it's nigma malachta. Weiter, what do you have to go according to the roiv? Every page you have to go according with the page. What it is? Is this nigma? It's not nigma. What I care. My friend was doiris it already. What's this done? What's the teretz? V'hi niris kumoy she'ein drusa. So I go bust the roiv, and the roiv is doras, and it says nigma malachta. This looks fine. Looks like it was already before it was pressed. Some he says sometimes it's drusa drusa means that he was doing it by foot, not with a machine. And this one slipped by, he didn't catch everyone. It's not so perfect, so it's not drusa. So then I go bust the roiv. V'niris k'moihu drusa, hilkuch amukan, dem dosa Roi b'nei Adam, tlina shigam in the drosas.
He won't do it anymore. The Shinla's gonna tell you.
But he's not going to do it. So what I got to bust it right?
No,
So what's getting busted right? So man, if he did it, he's finished. He's running a process, okay? And in the processing machines, you see something doesn't go flipped on the side, and that. So that's finished, right? You're not going back and reprocessing. That's like a fabric, you know? So you got an assembly line, right? Okay, so very good. So you tell me, Aswara, it's finished. He's not touching it anymore. Finished. It's Gemara Malach, right? Good. What's up going Roy B'nei? Hey, hello. What are all my neighbors doing? What's man after minute?
If that people are still doing it, maybe give it to someone to do it for him.
So tell me that. Tell me that what? Spencer, if you're going to go pull it back and give me it, oh, good, then it's not nigma. And Ibnish is nigma. What's the Chavayrim with the Roy B'nei? What's the Yenim? Everyone is case specific. It is nigma, it's an ish nigma. What's the stomach Yenim? It's the Yenim, don't tell him with the Roy.
If he did already, he's not going to be the only one who's still working on processing. Shine. Processing time is over. Hey, loves to shine his life.
All right. Zogte Moshe weiter. Omer Ablozer, sagt more weiter. Omer hat dort die Theme, b'makom shein roiv dos and besodes. It's talking where there's not a roiv that adois it, but b'makom shein roiv dos and besodes. Ois shedosu, ois in hamid, or asirin lidrois mistafim. Okay, this is very much more complicated. Look at Azai. Look at Moshe. Blazer Palik. Hadid Rav Shol. The Kama. Rav Shol says the pshat is the Tamuhu Bnei Shalapomim Ein Nekeres. Im Drusi Im Lap. Sometimes you can't tell. Why? Because it slips. And Mele, you go bust the roif. Ulefika Chamru Bo Shaholchan Achar Roi Bnei Adam. If you can't tell what it is, you go bust the Roi Bnei Adam. And he doesn't say here svaras because I can't tell, so man, I'm not going to do it anymore. Look, we get was the Roi B'nei Adam. Umashma, look at Moshe weiter, Anomen Aleph. Umashma, ha im biyudua shu ein drusa. If I know for sure this is not drusa, in other words, it's not nikah if it's drusa or not. If it's not nikah if it's drusa or not, so man, I have to go bust the Roi. But if I know shu ein drusa, goyish in the keres, shloi nishmis to. You know for sure that this didn't slip under the eagle, under the press. Is loy mahani roiv hadosim. Not going to help. I don't care about the roiv hadosim. And I go to kula. Uloilam paturahi the loyning malachta. It's considered loyning malachta. Go on the zugn nishkam pshat is because he's going to do it. He's not going to do it. He's going to bust the roiv. He says that if I don't have claw that this was nigma malachta, then I go bust the roiv. And it's always bought. The loy nigma malachta. But lo come Reb Loza the loy. Reb Loza says no, you can't go bust the roiv. Favos elo hadod the tame b'nei keresh and drusa paturahi. If it's niked that it's not drusa, then must is spotted because not you see that's not dosa. Even though it went by the machine, but it slipped under because in midverecha zeh shach loy medav kibimokin. When do we say the what? When do I say it's not a drusa because it didn't go into the press? It slipped under the press. Does dafke b'mokem shein roiv dosim besodas? The hoyel ve'ein kan roiv b'nei adam shedosu. There's not a roiv. Most of the people we don't have. It's not the man of finishing. It wasn't finished by all the other factories. V'zu nikere she'ein drusi, and this is niked that it's not a drusa. This betura aval. B'mokem sheroiv dosim besodas kidai to be misleading. Into the mission is talking. The whole town, everybody here was made a drisa. And even though I can't see on this one that it was done, the community, the Hodik Tanim Dosu Roy B'nei Adam Chayiv B'mokim Sheroiv Dosu B'Sodas. Who B'Chay Gavna? I'm reading the Alpha Pishin Nikorasi She'ein Drusa. Even though I could see that it's not a drusa because it slipped and it didn't go under the press, but about the Roy about doing it. The Alpha Pishin Nikorasi She'ein Drusa B'Nei Shos and Shedosu Kvar Heim Aroiv, and those are the Roiv other people. Listen how much words he's spending over here. Sometimes look this in 1.5 a word he says sometimes. I'm all get to that and do because I schwer zu verstehen. Even though this is a miyad. Why? Because this was not daras, because this slipped underneath. Shasine lidos mistafen l'chiv. Says atzir of l'chiv goes with everything else. The roiv goyres hamiyad l'chiv. Had better, Rabbi said. The roiv is you think it's machal sasuras over here? Huh? Was? Wo steht da? Steht das also? The din of nigma malachtoi. Nicht kein Metzies von der Sache allein. Das steht da. Nicht kein Metzies, ja, nigma, nicht nigma. Die Sache ist totally in, ob sie jetzt als Mann von Gemar, heißt es nigma malachtoi. Und das Mann ist totally mit der Roi b'nei Adam. Der Roi b'nei Adam sind Goyme, ist es Agmar. Roi b'nei Adam nicht Goyme, ist nicht Gemar. And this Amir, this is nicht going ausgepresst, it was slipped under the thing, it's Amir, we're about to have a roiv, so the roiv is goive, and you go boss the roiv. Das steht da. So weißt du, it's almost like a machal sasuras they get in. You know, it's totally in the zach, in the zach what's roiv b'nei Adam of the goyim in the zach, and that's what das steht da, was rachton, das steht.
Last line is
Yeah, this last line, right. That's the punchline, the punchline. Yeah, that's the punchline. Yeah. I'm saying the Mafulus and then this doesn't come up in the Mishnah, but the ganze Mishnah is this ganze Yisoid is from Roiv and how it goes the Imam Malocha. I'm letting no Mishnah, but this nicht wissen. And many times the Taisyantas they bring all the Mishnah, the Gemara from Yisham. I bring this nicht, bechal nicht. Okay, zog the Laman zu Ende Kinder, zog the Mafulde. Shehipakas, on the base on the left side, about 10 lines from the bottom. Shehipakas and Nitozis, it springt that up, it sprang underneath the press. Mitachas Agilu Shaiva Leo Bi Nidel Sheina Drusa. He's saying that this was pressed, it doesn't look like it's pressed. And that's very easy to understand. It was taka pressed. He just doesn't see it that it's pressed. It's a kleinchiga. Hadod the time of Lina Dafka Achad Ris is Roy bin Yodam. When do we say you go bust the roy b'mokum shena roiv dos and besada? Mokum shena roiv dos and besada. Lo yitzichin on the meza bust the ruba shaldrisa. No, why? You don't go bust the roiv. Elam it's tarif hamechze shedosu kwa. You have half of the people that already did the drisa. V'oisin hamid had sirif and hamid with the roiv. It's moedik. It's like teshachanois over here. Shedosu kwa. V'oisin hamid shloi dosu adayin. Pain asidin leaders besada, right? The guys didn't do it; they're still going to do it, right? Levatel oisen shaliyas habitl from the roiv, right? It's not a roiv, and the roiv paskedois that this is considered like a ma'amaloch. In the chad of miyut, or we about the miyut gets chochet machen the drisa, so the it's mistaref to the miyut from the machze.
It's 2 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, you wouldn't say this without this Gemara. You'd say, what are you talking about? It's case specific. If it's Nigma, it's Chai b'mais. Not Nigma, it's not Chai b'mais. What do I care about what's going on in the other pieces? Let's get b'chom. What do I care? Dr. Weiter, Maful, Shlei Nema, Shemoisen, Shaliyah, Shenofel, Vayavminen, Minoisen, Shebesada, same pirish, the Hash, the Roy, Vagorgis, Mitzuim, Besada, Shemotzi, Ilu, Shom, most of them are Besada, Atzma, Holchen, Acharoiv, Roiv Karnis B'chayov. Okay, let me send one more minute to the boy side. Rash Sevilla.
It's easier to say Chayov, take it out.
Chumrah, yeah, it's always easy. Okay, Im Drusa he Imene Drusa. Kloima, left side here, 4 lines in the top. Let's see if it does now. What do I care? That's the kash from the Gemara. Even though it does support it. No, and Im Drusa he loy Chayev. Imene Drusa, let me put it. That's the question. Clear the question. Umishani, and for the Gemara, the Bein Drusa, he Bein Ene Drusa, like Habachoch. Right? If it does not, that's not the proof. That's not what makes it for Gemara Malacha. Why? You know why? Because Shupakas, Kefet says, it jumps. Gemoi Bechala Shupakas, Mial Gabem Mizbeach, Gaklach, that came off the Mizbeach. That shows you that it means, the word Pakas means it jumps. Shupaku, Shalta Balaz, whatever that means. B'mokum Shen Roiv the dozen Besadis, Hilko, Polochim, Kivin, Isbu, Dova Goma, Vesafik, Riyas, Pnei Abayis, Nitvelu, the Roiv Dosim. Now he goes away much more complicated. You have it like this. You have a Dova Goma, it's a Dova Goma, and it's a Safik if it becomes Tebel or not, and you have Riyas, Pnei Abayis, the Roiv Dosim, Bebatim, if the Drisa happens not in the field, it happens Bebayis, and you have Riyas, Pnei Abayis, Loy being in time the double goma the type related to the Roy Bnei Bayis. If it's double shaloi nigma